Hello, Scrappy family. Amanda here. We are going to work on some photos today of my son in these really cute dog pajamas that I bought him. They were just adorable. And I was like, wait, I think I have some paper that could match that. Yes, you guys know I am that mom. And as I went through my stash looking, this is the paper, guys. I have already used it. I must have scrapped it at some point. It was a part of the this paper collection, which is Pet Shop by Simple Stories. So I remember buying this, only a few sheets because we don't have any pets. But here we are with this. This is the only paper I have left. But I also looked through my stash and I do have this Echo Park Pets by Lori Whitlock 6x6 paper pad. You guys know I love a paper pad. And I remember buying this because I said, well, the B-sides of this collection are so versatile, right? They can be used for anything. And, you know, there are various instances where the kids are wearing clothes that have cats or dogs or fish or gerbils or whatever. So I remember buying this, like, this can be multifaceted. I don't need to have a pet in order to be able to use this. So that's where we're at today. So I'm going to pull out some dog paper from here. I am going to work with a sketch that I found on Pinterest. Here's the sketch. I will also, of course, put this up as I work through the layout. And yeah, so I resized my photos in Canva. I do not have any landscape 4x6 photos, so I did print 2 3x4 photos instead of him in the bed because I can't get enough of him sleeping. I don't know about you guys, but do you take a lot of pictures of your toddlers and infants sleeping? Because the amount of pictures that I have of him sleeping are crazy. Thankfully, I don't print them all. So let's get started, of course, with 2 sheets of our white American Crafts cardstock. This is our base for most of our layouts. So we'll do that. And then on the sketch, there's something I don't love about this sketch is there are no measurements. I hate when that happens. But there looks like there's a piece that goes across both pages. Obviously, since I'm not working with a 12x12 sheet of paper, I don't have something that can go across, but I do have some 8.5 by 11 paper in my stash that I will pull to do that. Let's take a look at the photos and see. I might use, I don't know, a yellow or a craft for that. Let's see what else we can use. And then there's a piece that goes down and then across. I do want that larger piece though to be a pattern paper. So I don't know if I want it to be these dogs. Let's see. Oh, those are cats. Or these dogs. I think I might do these dogs because there's not much greenery in the photos and there's a lot of greenery on this paper. So I think we'll go with this. Even though they're not the same type of dog, it's okay. And we'll do 4 inches on one page, 2 inches on the other. And we'll have 2 sheets, so it'll be the length of the page. So there it is. Working with 6x6 papers, we are able to make it work. So I love that for us. Oh, that did not come out smooth. Okay. So we'll have our background paper. Perfect. Then I need something to go on top of that. Let's take a look in here. I like this. I like this for the plaid, but I also like it for the clouds. I'm going to use the clouds at the bottom going across the page. But okay, now we still need to go back to, okay, I think we're going to go with this red for the back. So let's see, let's start building it out, and then if we need to adjust, we can, of course, right? So first things first, let's cut down our photos, right? I've already resized some of them on Canva, so They are already the 4x4 that I need and the two 3x4s that I need as well. Now, I did not think about it because I hadn't found the paper yet, but I do have that 4x6 journaling capability, so I might also use that instead. So we'll see. All right, for the paper, let me cut it down by 6 because it does have that like peephole at the top. And then I said I'm going to do 4 inches on one side and 2 inches on the other. So we'll do that with both of these. Now, I do believe that it does not go all the way down to 12. So Hannah says hi, everyone. So I think I am going to cut it down. Looks like it's an inch. So maybe I'll do by 5. Yeah, it does look like an inch or a ½ inch from the bottom. So we are going to cut that. All right, so I have that cut, and then I'm going to cut this one. I think I'm going to say it's 2 inches. Okay, I think I'm going to do ½ inch. Yeah. ½ inch. ½ inch. And then here I'm going to do 1½ inch. And in the sketch, these also are not all the way down to the bottom of the layout. They look about a ½ inch longer than the previous piece, which we cut. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut this down by half. Great. And then going across, I think it's an inch. So even though it's clouds, I'm still going to put it at the bottom because he's in his pajamas because he's getting ready for bed. So we'll do that. And it's definitely longer than 6 inches. I would say it's probably about 9 inches. So I'm going to cut another one, and then this will have to cut in half. And then underneath is like a border. We'll come back to that because I have to then go look at my border punches as well. So let's get the base of it down. And there's some circle elements on here as well. Let's see. Let's build it out, and then I'll see what color I want my circle elements to be. So this looks like it's a Kiwi Lane template. So they're probably utilizing their rings template for the circles because it gives it like an open. Let's just build it out really fast, guys, and then we'll see what we're gonna do. The 4x6 photo here and a 4x4 photo here with these underneath, this one here, this one up here, and then these two down here. So like that, and then there's a border down at the bottom. So I do want to do the circular element here. In the sketch, there's a circular element that goes here, one that goes here, and one that goes here. Oops, geez, Amanda. And one that goes here in the corner. It does look like it's an open circular unit on the sketch, but I don't know if I want them to be open or closed. So we'll see. Then there's some strips that come down over here, an embellishment here, and then the title goes across the circular element, and then there's some embellishment over here. So let's move this away. I think I'm going to do my circle elements in like a yellow because there's some yellow dogs in his pajamas that we should bring out as well. So let's do that. I'm gonna go look for my Kiwi Lane ring set so that we can do that. So I'm going to use a bunch of yellow pieces from my stash so that I don't have to cut into any fresh sheets of 12 by 12 paper. And so these are the Kiwi Lane rings that I was mentioning. So as you can see here, like you can cut just the outer and make it solid inside, or you can cut the inside as well and make it a ring. So I think I'm gonna start with just the solid to see if I want it to be open in the middle or not. So because I'm gonna just check it out, I'm gonna also trace the inside here as well to see. Okay, and then the other are smaller circles and they both go off the page. So I'm going to try to trace them both here as well. So I can maximize my paper and not have to, you know, cut into another sheet. While I do this, I want you guys to tell me, how do you store your scraps? Are they stored by color, by size? Do you keep scraps at all? Do you have any rules on what you keep that's a scrap or not? So this year in 2025, I probably started towards the end of last year, if I'm being honest. I created a rule for myself that if it's not bigger than 3 inches, it's got to go. Because I had so many, and I still do because I haven't gone through all my drawers, but I had so many like 1-inch strips, the branding strips of scraps in my drawer. And I'm like, am I ever going to use these, or are they just going to sit here taking up space? And so, yeah, so that's how I do it. I also store by color. I have solids as well as pattern paper. And I've kind of got it in like a rainbow pattern, you know, reds, orange, yellow, green, and so forth. So that's how I've got that set up. I think I am gonna go for the ring look of it all. I created that rule for myself to keep only things of a certain size. I started going through my drawers and eliminating certain things. Now, it gets a little tricky when you have pattern paper that has multicolors on it, but I go with whatever is the primary color on that pattern paper. Or if I were to look for it again, like where I think I would look for it. So that's how those are stored. And it works out pretty well for me. I think at some point this year, I want to do a series where I don't cut into any new pattern paper, where I get some pictures and I find a sketch and I use only scraps from my scrap bin, because I hardly use it as much as I should. And obviously, you know, there's some good paper in there. So if you noticed, as I was doing my circles, I turned the paper over, and that's because this is a textured cardstock. So I didn't want to have the grooves in my pencil marks when I was tracing. Obviously, it's the back of the paper, so you're still going to have some grooves, but it's not as defined as the front of the paper. Also, with doing that, now I don't have to worry about erasing my pencil marks as much as I would have to if I did it on the front of the paper. So those are some tricks when using Kiwi Lane. I know in a few of my videos I've used them. I really do love them. I have so many of their templates. I was a huge proponent of them when they first came out. And I still support them, and I still love that, you know, the investment I made into these templates, all these years later, you know, I'm still able to use them. So makes me feel like it was a good investment. Now this, half of the circle is going to get hidden, so I'm going to just cut into it to cut the inner circle out. But if you needed your circle to be whole, then you can just fold it, cut here, and then go around. But I don't need to make it difficult for myself today, so I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna just come here and just cut the circle out. because that part is going to be hidden anyway. And even if it wasn't hidden, you could hide the cut using, you know, a sticker or some kind of embellishment when you are on the, you know, putting your final layout together. There's so many ways where you can, you know, hide some imperfections with your scrapbooking. All right, so great. We've got our circles cut out. Okay, so in our sketch, okay, we have these circles, and I will also ink the edges of this to also hide some of those imperfections, right? And so we have this one here, that, maybe I'll use this one because that one looks like it should have been a little bit wider, right? And then this one down here, we can just do like that. And if needed, you know, we can always make it, we can always cut it off so that it's thinner or shorter. So we'll do it like that. That's cute. I like the way it looks. And we'll add some embellishments, obviously, to it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to ink the edges of everything, put everything down, and then come back so we can finish embellishing. All right, so here we are. We're back. I have inked the edges of my paper. I have put down most of my pictures. These are still out here because I don't know what I'm going to do with this ring here. I feel like it's too big. Even if I cut it off, I don't know. I don't love the way it looks over there just yet. And I need to figure out what kind of scallop I'm going to put down here. So the sketch has a scallop, but I picked out my notebook punch instead that I want to use. And I think I'm going to go with the navy paper here from the 6x6 paper pad. I was going back and forth in my mind over which one to use, but I think the navy makes the most sense. All right, so let's adhere it down on this side first, since all of the elements on this page are laid out. And I'm going to just add the adhesive up here to the top. Since the paper is already dark, I'm not going to ink the edges of it just because you won't be able to tell really anyway. So, all right, just going to do that. And I really don't know how far out I want this to go. In the sketch, it goes just a little beyond the, just goes a little beyond the top pattern paper. I just wanted to make sure it was even. And I guess I will cut it off right here. All right, that's cute. That's cute. And so this one, I'm gonna cut off right here, okay? And so now let's line these up. Even though when they're in the book, you really can't tell if it's off by a little bit, I'd still like to put them next to each other to measure it out. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, I think I am going to revert back to this larger circle element over here, and then that way I can cover up the transition. So I'm going to do that. All right, so now I've got my other circular piece here, and I think I'm going to just do it like this, catty corner, and just cut off the excess. And that is perfect. No harm, no foul. Nobody knew that it was there. Okay, so now our page is put together, and now we just need to embellish. In the sketch, there's some pattern papers down here coming down. I think I'll utilize some pieces that are left over. I am going to utilize a piece of this notebook paper, notebook punch as well. Then as far as embellishments go, from here, I want to pull out this So Loved. And I think I want to pull this out as well. I might just cut it out. I might fussy cut it out. I think that is really cute. And then we can put it like here and cover up. Oh, maybe over here. So we can cover up the transition between the paper. And I like this So Loved. Maybe over there, or down here is where they have the embellishment. Or maybe I'll put the doghouse over here. I don't know. I want something to go there to cover that up. But then we've got this little bit of trapped space here too. So that's kind of cute there. But I did pull out this Little Dreamer sticker book from Echo Park. It's all about little boys. And although there aren't anything in here that I've seen thus far that has dogs specifically, it does have a lot about little boys. And obviously this is a little boy layout. So I think we will be able to utilize some of these. So like, you're a super cool kid. We've got some stars and clouds that can match with the cloud paper down here. And there's several banner pieces as well within here. I'm going to pull some pieces first to do the banner here. I'm going to pop this up. And I like this So Loved here. I kind of wanted to round the edges of it a bit, but I guess since all the other pattern paper is not rounded, I won't, but I will pop it up on some foam. I am going to ink the edges of this. There's this little fire hydrant as well that was included in the cut apart sheet that I'm going to just cut out as well to use as another dog themed embellishment on the page, just so that I can tie that into multiple of the embellishment clusters that we're going to have. I don't enjoy fussy cutting, especially things like this that have so many corners, but at least these are sharp corners. All right, so we've cut out our fire hydrant. Get all of these scraps off the paper. I'm going to ink this up and put that there in the corner. I'm going to cut this red paper to use at the top here with all of these strips that are supposed to be up here, as to not waste it. And it is, you know, good paper. I'm going to cut this in a banner. This yellow paper is the back side of the dog paper that's in the background. I don't want to use the dog side because the orientation is not correct, but I'm going to use that up there. Let's see, I wanted to use more scraps. So here, this is the back side of that red paper. I'm going to use a green strip from there. Right, and all of these I'm going to fishtail. I'm going to put this yellow banner piece down first because it is the largest. Right, then we have that there. I'm going to put this cloud up here to mimic or bring up the clouds from the bottom from the sticker sheet, and see if there are some stars that I can also pull up from down there. I think I might do double the cloud. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay. Then from an embellishment standpoint, I think I want to put this here with a word phrase coming out of it. It says, "You are awesome, play all day, happy, magic, wonder, shine bright, hello, handsome, adventurous little guy, born to be wild, little dreamer, just like dad, love you forever." I think I'm going to use the my son with this here. I'm going to pop that up as well. And I think I'm going to do the word cool kid here. because clearly he's a cool kid, right? I'm gonna use it with these block letters instead, just because I like them. And they're easy to move around the circle. All right, so we have cool kid there, and then I wanna use maybe some of these stars, stars from the sticker sheet. So I am putting these circle stars around the layout like I would typically use an enamel dot just around the page because they're so cute and they are appropriate since we have some stars in this pattern paper down here and he's getting ready to go to bed. And I like this. There's a thing here. It says follow your dreams. I think I'm gonna put that right here, right? And we can put this right here. That's really cute. And I can do some journaling underneath here. Let's see what else we can add before we call this page complete. I think I'm gonna pick this. Every day is awesome with you. Put that right underneath here as well. All right, I'm gonna add some quick journaling down here. Just year and month really. So this is, we're gonna call this page done. I think we actually stayed pretty close to the sketch aside from using 2 3x4 photos here instead of 4x6 and then some other of the embellishment clusters. But I'm really pleased with how this page came out. I absolutely love it. And I'm really proud of myself for being able to get all of this done literally without one sheet of 12x12 paper aside from our background, right? Even the circles that we cut out were a scrap. And then all of our pattern paper was from a 6x6 paper pad. So I'm really, really proud of myself for that. I hope that you are able to do something creative to make yourself proud today as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.